Greetings, friends. Welcome back to our exploration of the strange and unknown. I'm your host, Nova, and today we descend into the shadows, into the chilling world of vampires. These creatures of the night, are they merely figments of our darkest fears? Or do their legends hold a deeper truth? Tonight, we seek answers. We'll unearth the origins of vampire lore, dissect the chilling stories that have haunted humanity for ages, and uncover the hidden meanings behind their blood-red gaze. Join me, and together, we'll uncover the truth behind these ancient terrors. I've spent years lost in the pages of ancient texts, legends of the macabre, whispers of the undead. Allow me to share a tale. Imagine yourself in ancient Eastern Europe. The night rages outside, a storm mirroring the fear that grips your heart. You are a villager, huddled inside your home, haunted by whispers of a creature that stalks the darkness. The vampire. Yet, one legend towers above the rest, the story of Vlad the Impaler, the notorious figure who inspired Bram Stoker's iconic Dracula. This brutal ruler, infamous for his merciless cruelty, instilled terror in the hearts of many and left a legacy steeped in fear. While the historical Vlad was not a vampire, his brutal reputation and the myths surrounding him contributed to the vampire legend. Now, imagine the terror. A knock at your door in the dead of night, the dread that follows, the knowledge that once a vampire sets its sights on you, escape is all but impossible. Garlic, holy water, a wooden stake, these were the paltry weapons of the desperate, hoping to ward off a creature that embodied their most primal fears. But these stories, passed down through generations, are more than mere ghost stories. They reflect our anxieties about mortality, the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of death. Vampires became explanations for the unexplainable. Sudden deaths, strange illnesses, the darkness that lingered at the edge of understanding. They were cautionary tales, reminders of the eternal struggle between good and evil, life and death. But what if these legends, these whispers in the dark, have roots in something tangible? What if the vampire, a creature of myth, has its origins in the very real world we inhabit? Consider this. What is a vampire at its core? It is a being existing outside the bounds of life and death, sustained by the life force found in blood. Immortality, superhuman strength, and aversion to sunlight. These traits, while fantastic, may have their origins in real-world phenomena. Some scholars believe vampire lore arose from a misunderstanding of certain medical conditions. Porphyria, for instance, causes extreme sensitivity to light and disfiguring skin lesions, symptoms that easily lend themselves to tales of creatures who shun the day. Rabies, with its horrifying symptoms of aggression and hydrophobia, could have further fueled these beliefs in a time when medical knowledge was limited. And just as beliefs vary across cultures, so too do the vampires themselves. The Chinese jiangshi, a rigid, hopping corpse, drains the life force or qi from its victims. The Slavic strigoi, vengeful spirits bound to the earth, rise from their graves to torment the living. Each culture, through its own lens of fear and superstition, has shaped the vampire myth, creating a variety of folklore as diverse as humanity itself. The vampire panic that gripped 18th century Europe offers a chilling example. Fueled by fear and a lack of scientific understanding, people resorted to desperate measures, digging up graves and staking corpses, in a misguided attempt to quell the plagues they attributed to vampires. These historical accounts, along with countless works of literature, demonstrate how deeply these creatures have embedded themselves in our collective psyche. But why are we so drawn to these creatures of darkness? Why do these tales of the undead continue to fascinate us, to frighten us, even today? Consider the vampire's defining characteristics. Immortality, to live forever, free from the constraints of time, may seem like a blessing. But consider the cost. An eternity of existence, witnessing the ceaseless cycle of life and death while remaining apart from it, trapped in a state of undeath. And then there's the blood. The life force, the very essence of our being, becomes the vampire's sustenance, a macabre reflection of our own mortality, our fear of being consumed by something beyond our control. Sunlight, the source of life, holds no warmth for the vampire. They are creatures of shadow, dwelling in the darkness we instinctively fear. The unknown, the unseen, the place where our deepest anxieties take shape. Perhaps our fascination stems from the symbolism they embody. The vampire's immortality reflects our own desires to cheat death, to retain our youth and vigor. Their thirst for blood mirrors our own struggles with addiction, our fear of being controlled by our base desires. Even their depiction as alluring, seductive figures speaks to our hidden selves. They represent temptation, the allure of the forbidden, the dangerous thrill of giving in to our darker impulses. In a way, vampires serve as mirrors, reflecting back at us the parts of ourselves we'd rather not acknowledge, our fears, our desires, the battle between light and darkness within us all. So, as we emerge from the shadows, what have we learned? Vampires, far from being mere figments of imagination, are complex figures woven into the very fabric of human experience. Their stories reflect our history, our fears, and our endless fascination with the unknown. But why do they continue to captivate us even now? Perhaps it is their promise of immortality, their air of mystery, their ability to tap into the deepest recesses of our collective psyche. Or perhaps it is something more, something we cannot fully comprehend. The answer, my friends, lies within you. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop seeking the truth that lurks beneath the surface. Of course, we've only just begun to scratch the surface of our fascination with these creatures of the night. Vampires have infiltrated every corner of popular culture, from the iconic Dracula of Bela Lugosi to the brooding romance of Edward Cullen. But unpacking the evolution of the vampire on screen and in our literature, well, that's a tale for another night. One filled with silver screen legends, literary masterpieces, and maybe even a few guilty pleasures. If you're intrigued and want to dive deeper, check out my other videos exploring vampires and other creatures in greater detail. Discover their roles in modern pop culture, the psychological foundations of our fears, and much more. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of darkness. Until next time, stay curious.